What's up, everyone? Matt Crane here, and welcome to the Power of Great podcast. You know, every week we come into your homes, we come into your radio stations, we come into your smartphones, and we bring you the recognition that your current situation is not your defining moment. And I've got to tell you, we've got an amazing guest today, my man, Brad Lea. Brad is a self-made entrepreneur, over 25 years in sales and marketing, and after training and motivating thousands worldwide, he realized that he was spinning his wheels. He was traveling nonstop, saying the same thing over and over again, and the only thing that was changing was the faces in the room. Well, this guy right here, Brad Lea, he knew that there had to be a better, more effective way to train and communicate, and he realized in order to truly learn anything, there had to be repetition, practice, and ongoing accountability. That's why in 2000, he decided to create a solution that would allow him to better train his clients and deliver the value he was being paid for. Well, he did it. It worked so well, he decided to completely change his business model and share the solution with the world. And that's when LightspeedVT was born. After 14 years, countless mistakes, a myriad of obstacles, and quite a few experts, we'll get into that later, saying it would never work, LightspeedVT has emerged as a worldwide leader in interactive experience-based training communication systems. And Brad's vision and leadership has been instrumental in developing some of today's most productive sales development training professionals, employees, and learning enthusiasts worldwide. Let me tell you what my man says. Determination is the fuel for success. Without it, you're not going anywhere. My man, Brad Lea, what's up, my man? Welcome to the Power of Great.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Well, Brad, we're going to jump right into it today. And, you know, you have just been on this launch here lately with social media and really just driving your business. Folks like Grant Cardone, I know that you recently just plugged in with my man, Eric Thomas. I know Coach Michael Burt is dropping a ton of content as well. And I've got to ask you, Brad, what really fuels your success?
You know, I think other people's success fuels my success. When everybody else does well, I do well.
That's awesome. You know, and I think that as a true leader in the game, would you not say that it's more rewarding to help others find what they want and achieve what they want versus you only looking out for yourself?
Absolutely. Zig Ziglar.
So what would you say, Brad, was a true and big pivotal moment for you in your life?
You know, I've had a lot of those. I you know, depends on what you're talking about. I mean, obviously, you know, marrying, having kids, you know, but as far as business goes, I think the pivotal moment in my life is when I was knocking on doors and people were starting to name drop their favorites, and it wasn't me. And that's when I said, you know what, I can sit here and try to argue and fight and describe how much better I am than the next person, or I can just withdraw out of that game and get into a game no one was in. And so that was really the pivotal moment.
Wow. What did it make you feel like at first when your name wasn't mentioned? Did it hurt you, or did it just fuel you to the point where you said, so I got to change this?
Well, I mean, it made me feel sorry for the people.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was my problem that they didn't hear about me, but it was their problem that they didn't hear about me, if you know what I mean. Like I was better than everybody else as far as my training goes. I could have helped them better than anyone else could have, but they didn't hear about me. And fortunately, they didn't, because if I would have kept getting yeses, I wouldn't have figured out a way to go. I mean, if I would have kept getting yeses, I'd probably be just this big sales trainer in a certain industry right now.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. So would you say that some people then get caught up on trying to be too commercialized versus really trying to be specialized?
You know, I don't know. I mean, depends on who you're talking about. There, you know, a lot of people are out there nowadays trying to shotgun approach it. And I think, you know, when you specialize, you have, you know, it's like a sniper rifle. You know, you hit your target more often with a sniper rifle than you do just shotgun it. But in some cases, man, a shotgun is appropriate.
Yeah, I agree. What would you say was your toughest moment of adversity, and how did you overcome it, Brad?
Man, it's still happening every day. And, you know, I overcame it through naivety, or what, how would you say naivety? Naivety. We have to look that up. You know, being naive, not understanding that I should have gave up, being too stupid, just moving forward. You know, again, I mean, just every day I would think that 90 days from now is going to be a world of difference. So I could easily make it 90 days. And the next thing you know, 90 days came and went, and I was looking at the next 90 days. The whole time I was having adversity. The whole time I was, you know, running out of money and needing more. Seemed like only up until recently, money was an issue. I mean, up until recently, I always needed money. It was like crazy, but I still need money. It's just on a bigger scale. I need 100 million. If any listeners are out there, just, you know, throw me 100 milski.
Yeah, so for any of our listeners on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, hey, you know, just reach out to my man Brad Lea. Let him know when the check's in the mail. Or, hey, you know what? Maybe you can just route it right over to him, because I promise you he'll triple the return on that. Or like our man Uncle G says, he'll 10X the return on that investment for certain. So, you know, Brad, one thing that I really see with you is that you're so down to earth, but yet when you speak, it's very efficient and it's very matter of fact, and there's not a lot of fluff and there's not a lot of song and dance. It's like, hey, here it is. So do you feel that when you really wanted to go after this changing of the guard in retrospect to training, was it to eliminate a lot of this excess fluff that you saw out in the field and wasted time in these rooms, so people could really get information on a dime when they needed it and how they needed it?
Yeah, I mean, again, I had a passion to help people make more money. And, you know, I had the information to do so. But information without understanding is worthless. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know, they'll buy a book and put it on their shelf. You know, the knowledge is in the book. So if you look at some people's libraries, their whole bookshelves are filled with books they've never read, which means they wasted their money. However, you know, there's books that cost $20 that have millions of dollars inside. So my passion was just kind of help people learn, and it wasn't happening in live environments. I mean, companies will pay $50,000 for a keynote speech, and when that person leaves an hour later, you know, everybody's fired up and they think $50,000 well spent. When in reality, they could have spent $50,000 to put that person with every individual participant for the entire year, and at the end of the year, had a much bigger impact and more familiarity, and everybody trained better, and everybody understanding the information to a point where they could affect behavior. But instead, traditionally, you know, they do keynotes. So that's why keynotes happen all the time, which keynotes are kind of, I mean, for entertainment purposes, great. But for learning purposes, they're worthless.
Yeah, you know, I started to call them evangelists. You know, you bring them in for a moment, they get everybody hot, and then they leave, and you get nothing from it. So you're exactly right. Let me ask you, Brad, what do you really see as the main reason why most people don't go all in for their dreams?
You like entrepreneurs?
Yeah, just, I mean, entrepreneurs, business people, 9-to-5ers that just go through the mundane existence and always have these great I woulda, shoulda, couldas, but never go for it.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think all of them go for it. I think most of them stop. See, people get fired up. You know, January 1 comes around, everybody hits the gym for about 3 days until the pain kicks in. And then they say, well, you know, I don't really need to be buff. I'm married anyway. You know, and what happens is they give up too soon. So I don't think that nobody goes for their dreams. I think a lot of people go for their dreams. I think most everybody goes for their dreams. They just go for a split second or briefly when it requires years. I mean, I've been doing this 15 years. I thought it would happen in 90 days. 90 days. And if you would have asked me, I would have convinced you that in 90 days, the world was going to change. And every single 90 days after that, I believe the same thing. So I just never gave up. And I think that's why I found success. And if you look back or talk to a myriad of successful people, that's going to be their answer. You know, Grant Cardone, I know you mentioned him a lot. Ask him. I mean, buddy, he's 57, I think. He didn't make it until like in his 40s or 45. But he was beating the bushes forever. But he didn't give up. Steve Jobs didn't give up. Man, that guy got fired from his own company. Didn't give up. So I think to answer your question, people give up too early, too easily.
Yeah, I agree. And that's another thing that I really appreciate about what you bring to the table is that you never let success be that word that allows you to pump the brakes. It's almost as if once success starts getting mentioned with Brad Lea, it's like you hit the gas pedal and you're like, man, I got to go. So, what's a day in the life of LightspeedVT like? I know you probably have people in and out of the studios, dropping content, creating content. Walk our audience through what's a day in the life of LightspeedVT.
Well, you just did. I mean, people are coming in, creating more content. We're doing brainstorming sessions all day long, trying to figure out how to get this knowledge out to the world in a larger capacity. Marketing is always on our minds here, trying to figure out how to bring more value to our clients, which, by doing that, we're bringing more value to their end users, the students, the world. So that's just a normal day. Every single day, man, we get up, come in here and try and figure out how to do it. Our mission is to inspire people to learn. We want to make engaging, effective and reliable training so people enjoy learning. People feel the result of the training. A lot of people don't spend a lot on training, a lot of companies, a lot of management, because they don't think it works. Because they've brought in those keynote speakers for big dollars. Everyone got fired up, but the needle didn't move. And the needle didn't move because the training wasn't effective. And now a lot of people think they have training programs when they don't. They really have talking programs. So our mission is to inspire people to learn and make and change that. Because if you think about it, Matt, training is at the core of winning. There is no winner in this world that didn't train. Name a winner other than a lottery winner that didn't train. Top athletes, top companies, top salespeople, top of anything. They train. Training is at the core of winning, period. We want to get back to that.
So for all of our listeners out there, Brad, if there's folks out there that have content and just struggle with how to develop it and how to get it out to the world, is that something that they could call you as well and find out about your services and how they can take that content and figure out how to package it, promote it, and get it out to the masses?
Well, absolutely. If you're a company and you need training, you would call us. If you're a trainer, a training company, and you want to learn how to create massive streams of recurring revenue and help your clients even more than you're doing already, you should call us. And, if you're passing through Las Vegas, you should call us.
I like that. So basically, if you have a phone and you know how to dial, they should call you, right?
Yeah. I mean, stop by, say hello, check out the studios. You never know who's in here, whether it be Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Eric Thomas, Damon John. The list goes on.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm sure Matt Crane will be through here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be in Las Vegas August the 18th through the 20th, working with a group of entrepreneurs. So I'm definitely going to take you up on that offer and call you and stop by. I think highly of you, Brad. You've been someone that I've watched for quite some time, and your approach and your delivery, and honestly, the way that you just want to see people win. And you don't apologize for your success because it's not like it was handed to you. You went out and busted your ass and did what it took to get there, but yet you're not resting on it. And I have such a high level of respect for that. And, I'm a product of Cardone University, which is a product of yours. And just how efficient that product was for me and how it helped turn the needle in my life and helped add clarity to all these great things and this drive and this passion. It's something that I can truly say to you as well, that you're the Wizard of Oz behind the scenes with your team, putting it all together. And sometimes that can go unnoticed. So I want to say thank you for that as well, because, hey, this podcast is a product of the training that your company put on Cardone University for me to get and to really be able to understand how to better protect and take care of my family. So that's a big time appreciation from my crew here in Tennessee for you, my friend.
Well, again, I'll say thank you back, but that belongs solely to Grant Cardone. We just helped him reach you. That's all.
Yeah. So, As we get ready to wrap up the show, Brad, what's next for Brad Lea, and what's next for LightspeedVT?
We're going to continue doing what we do. We have barriers to break. We have a couple of barriers before we hit the $1 billion mark. Our goal is to be the most widely used interactive training system on the planet, and I'm going to do everything I can to get there as far as Lightspeed. As far as Brad Lea goes, again, I have 2 young daughters that I need to raise. I have a beautiful wife at home. I want to slow down a little bit, maybe enjoy them. I have a lot of ideas and other inventions, so to speak, that I'm working on. Some cool things. I got a book I'm going to be writing called Zero to Lightspeed. Man, there's a whole bunch in front of me. I have one product coming out called Killer Meeting. And Killer Meeting is basically a VT system, since you've been in one. But in the training center, instead of training, it's basically just one video and a facilitator's guide to where anyone on the planet can put on a killer meeting.
I love that. I love the title of your book, Zero to Lightspeed. You're also a really creative individual. You've got to show the bottom line, and you come out like Buford Pusser, the old school, sheriff just dropping the hammer. That's the bottom line. And I'm just waiting for you to hit the eyebrow, like my man, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. But, Brad, where can our audience, our viewers, our listeners, all those out there that want to know more about Lightspeed and want to stay up to date with what Brad Lea's got going on, where can they locate you? Where can they follow you, find you, and how can they reach you in order to inquire more about what you bring to the market?
Well, again, depending on what you're looking for, lightspeedvt.com is our website. That's got our contact information there. If you're looking just for, tidbits of information, things I've learned, things I like, things I share, you can follow me on Twitter, find me on Facebook. Usually just Google @The Real Brad Lea, The Real Brad Lea, spelled Lea. You should be able to find me. Go to YouTube and subscribe. The biggest thing I need or I want is YouTube subscribers. Those things are hard to get. I've only got like 500, and that's where we drop the bottom lines. I thought I'd have a lot more, but everybody watches it on Facebook. Facebook, I've got thousands and thousands of views, and YouTube, for some reason, nobody wants to watch it there. Is that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy because I'm like the next person. I'm constantly putting content out, but hey, here's the cool thing. You just got to keep pounding the pavement, and you just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. So, guys, for everyone out there on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, you've been live on the Power of Great podcast right here on iTunes, where every week we bring you guests, we bring you individuals, entrepreneurs, business owners, but individuals who at one point in their life recognized that their current situation was not their defining moment. Brad Lea embodies that persona, but more importantly, he represents what I always like to say is that success is never measured by what you step out of, but rather by what you're committed to step into. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being here this week. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. And always remember this: there are great things waiting on us all, and we are going to achieve great things. Why not just do it together? We'll see you guys next time.